It is now easier than ever to start a business in 2023, even with no money. So if you've been considering starting a business, or maybe you've started one and you haven't yet created success, I'm gonna give you this step-by-step strategy and process you need to follow to start a successful business. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna walk you through top mistakes that almost everybody makes when starting a business so that you can avoid making those too. What's up, guys? I'm Team Hirsh, and if you are new around here, I talk about how to have a wildly successful business while not sacrificing your freedom or joy. If you don't have the resource of money when starting your business, then you need to invest the second biggest resource, which is your time. And if you boil business down to the most simplest form, business and marketing really comes down to relationships. So honestly, you can forget about all the shiny objects and strategies and tools and things people tell you you need, and really focus on how do we build relationships, because relationships are what lead to sales really easily. Let me break down exactly what I would do if I was starting a brand new business today and I had $0 to invest in starting it. The first step is identifying who that ideal customer, who it is we want to sell to, and what we want to sell to them. I think a lot of people might try to go start a business without doing this first, and it's gonna feel like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall. You're guessing, you're running around in a hamster wheel, and the reason is you haven't sat down and been really intentional with this. Now, when I say identify this person, I don't just mean their age, their gender, where they live. I mean, who are they? Deep down, what are they afraid of? What are they frustrated about? What do they want? What are the dreams that they don't tell anybody about that keep them up at night worrying they're not going to accomplish them? If you know those things, you will be miles ahead of any other business owner trying to reach that ideal customer. So step number one, identify that ideal customer that you want to attract and what you're going to sell to them. If you don't know what you're going to sell to them yet, at least have somewhat of an idea, because that's probably going to help you with who you need to identify. Step number two is really digging deep into how you can emotionally connect with that ideal customer. Most people might make a little bit of a list, a bulleted list of who that person is, and then move on and actually start executing a strategy or posting on social media. And down the road, they're not going to end up going anywhere. Here's why. If you set this foundation of identifying who the person is that you're trying to attract, and then listing out how you can emotionally connect to that person, you will have such an easier time with everything else that you do. So if I was starting a brand new business today, the second thing I would do is I would make a list, an extensive list in detail of specifics around my ideal customer's frustrations, pain, and desires. And here's the thing. If you're listening to this and you're like, I don't know what those things are, or I at least don't know specifics as to what those things are, then this is what I want you to do. I want you to go interview 10 to 20 different ideal customers that you've identified and ask them. Ask them if you're in the niche of health. If you want to start a business helping people get healthier, then you're going to go interview your ideal client, who you think is your ideal client, and you're going to ask them, what are the biggest frustrations you have to being more healthy, to becoming more healthy, to losing weight? And then you're gonna listen and you're gonna write down everything they say in their words, and you're gonna make a list of at least 15 to 20 things of your ideal customer's frustrations, pain, and desire. Now, step number three, we're gonna re-look at that offer that we wanna sell, because we're starting a business to make money, right? And so I'm telling you how to make money without having to spend money. We need to sell something in order to do that. So this would be the step where you think about, what is it that I wanna sell? Is it a physical product? Is it a digital product? Is it coaching? Is it a service? And if you had an idea before in step one of what you wanted to sell, I want you to take that idea, compare your list that you just got from your ideal customers of their frustration, pain, and desires, and make sure your offer addresses all of those. If it doesn't, we need to make some changes to it. So now at this point, you know who your ideal customer is, you know who you're trying to attract, you know how you're gonna emotionally connect with them, because how do we build relationships? Through emotion and through connection. And you know that you have an offer, or at least the outline of an offer and what you're gonna sell, that addresses those things. So why wouldn't people buy it, right? So the next step, and what you're going to do, is daily Commit to connecting to those people. And this sounds super simple because it is. And people really overcomplicate marketing. You don't actually need to get the initial first sales that you can then maybe reinvest back in your business into getting more leads and sales. You don't need an entire funnel or certain softwares or a bunch of emails. You really don't need all of that for the initial first sales. What you need are conversations that you can turn into sales. So identifying how are you going to connect with these ideal customers that you've identified every single day until you get sales, and staying committed to that. This is in the form of conversation. So you need to figure out how you're gonna start conversations every day. This could look like posting on social media a certain number of times a week, and then DMing a genuine conversation starter with your new followers or with people who like your posts. This could look like going into communities, Facebook groups, other people's communities, and looking how you can serve and start to build relationships. This could look like starting a community, starting a Facebook group, or starting a chat in Instagram that people can subscribe to where you provide value. Now, here's the key. This is where most people mess up. You're not doing this with the intent to sell immediately. So I don't mean go find people who followed you and message them and say, hey, do you want to buy my product? Or do you want to buy my offer? Do you want to buy my service? I get those DMs all the time. I never, ever respond to them. I ignore them. Because why would I be interested in having a conversation with that person if I don't even know them? I don't know the value they're going to provide, and they don't care about a relationship with me. They've made that very clear. They just care about selling their product or service, which makes me not trust them. This is starting a genuine conversation. This is reaching out to someone and saying, how can I support you? I'm so happy that you're here. Asking them a question about, let's use the example of you're in the health industry. You want to help people get healthy again. Okay, your new followers. Hey, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to my world. I'd love to know, what is your biggest struggle that you have right now around your health or around losing weight that I could maybe support you with? The key with this is you have to be genuine, because all sales are going to start with a genuine connection and a genuine conversation. Now, this is obviously not scalable to the 7-figure mark, and you can check out my video that I posted around how I became a multi-7-figure entrepreneur after having a baby at 20. This strategy is gonna get you your initial first sales. This is how to start a business with no money. This is how to invest time and boots on the ground, prove an offer, prove a business, so you start to get that momentum, because getting the first sales is the hardest part. So genuine conversations, genuine connection, identifying how are you gonna do that every single day. And what I want you guys to do is not be attached to the outcomes yet. I want you to be committed to at least 30 days of having at least one conversation a day with your ideal customer, however you need to make that happen. Again, get creative. It can be with your followers. It can be with people who engage with your posts. It can be in another community. It can be in a Facebook group. Find your ideal customers. It can be in person. It can be at the grocery store. It can be at the coffee shop. Whatever you need to do to find your ideal customers and have a daily, genuine conversation with them. Because what I promise you is going to happen is you're going to start talking to your ideal customers, and you're going to start helping them and supporting them in the area and the niche that you solve a problem in. And they're going to be interested in your support, because people want to solve their problems. People want to achieve their desires. All you have to do is this first step of proving and earning their trust. The final step in executing this is, once you start having those conversations, listen to what people are saying. Maybe there's an opportunity that you actually shift and change something about your offer, because you realized if you added this in or you changed this thing, you would sell all these people into it. I promise you that if you have these conversations and you make that the goal, the selling will become easy. But once you start having the conversations, the last step is to start genuinely really listening to what people are saying. You've already identified their problems, their frustrations, their dreams, but now you get to listen to their response when your offer starts to come up. Remember, your offer doesn't come up right away. The genuine conversation comes up first, in serving and supporting. And then naturally, it'll probably lead into your offer. But when people start to have objections to your offer, or they're like, I don't know if I could do that. I'm super busy. I'm a parent. I don't know if I could show up to the group calls, or I don't know, I'm worried about buying that product for XYZ reason. pay attention to those things. Because when you're in the beginning phases of a business, you have no rules. You can change your offer, you can shift things, you can be open and adaptable to feedback. Honestly, anytime in business, you have no rules, but especially in those beginning phases, you're not committed to anything. We can shift our offer based on our ideal customer's feedback. I think a lot of times business owners forget why they're even in business. Yes, we're in business to have freedom, to create more flexibility, financial freedom, time freedom, all those things. But the only way we're going to be successful is serving our ideal customers. And so if they give us feedback that we need to change something about our offer, we need to do that. Now, before I continue, here's a very, very common mistake people make. They start these conversations and then they say to the person, tell me what you need. What do you want? What do you want to improve your health? What can I create for you? What product? What service? What digital course? Don't do that. Because if people knew what they wanted, they'd already have solved their problem. People don't know what they want. Here's what people know. They know what they're frustrated about. They know what is not working, and they know what they've tried to fix the solution. It is up to you as a business owner, as the entrepreneur, as the visionary, to solve their problem. So don't make that mistake in these conversations. You have to do the decoding throughout the conversations of understanding, okay, they gave me feedback about not having enough time for my coaching or not being clear on something, and now I get to take that and improve my offer. Here's an example strategy of seeing this at play, okay? Number one, I identify my ideal customer. I am targeting entrepreneurs who want to be healthier. Number two, I figure out and I dig deep and I list out all of the pain, the frustration, the desires that they feel, the very specifics. They don't have enough time to meal plan. They have kids and a business, and their health gets put at the bottom of the list. They don't know what to do for their workouts. They have tried a bunch of different programs and they're not seeing results, so they quit, right? I dug deep into those. And then I commit to, I'm gonna post on social media 3 to 4 times a week. And every single person who engages with one of those posts or follows me, I'm gonna send them a DM. And I'm gonna say, hey, I'm so happy. Welcome to my community. Welcome to my world. I would love to know, what is the biggest struggle you have right now with your health? I'd love to connect with you on that. And I'm also going to go to other communities, other pages of very well-established health influencers who have my same ideal customer as their target audience, and I'm gonna engage, and I'm going to have a goal to have 1 conversation a day. In those conversations, I'm gonna serve, I'm gonna provide value, and I'm gonna genuinely connect like I'm talking to a friend. And when the time is right, I'm gonna lead those conversations to a call. I don't say when the time is right, like you have to wait weeks or you have to wait a month, just when it feels genuine. Like when it feels like, hey, you've responded, we've interacted, we've gone back and forth, and I would love to dig deeper with you on a call. And I'm gonna set a goal to have at least 15 calls. And I guarantee you that you will sell at least one of those 15 calls if your offer really does solve their problem, address their desire. And if it doesn't, you're gonna take the feedback from the calls and you're gonna keep going until you make the sales. The beginning of building a business is very much the build stage. In order to be successful, you need to try a bunch of things. The only way that I've been able to build a 7-figure business without a degree, without someone telling me what to do, honestly figuring it out as I went, is because I tried 10 things and maybe one of those things worked. So if you are in that beginning stage, if you are in that first year, if you're still getting your business off the ground and trying to get those initial sales, I want you to just commit to the momentum. Commit to trying things, obviously with strategy, but you don't know if something is gonna work or not going to work. And so the more that you try, the more that you don't stay in the same place, the more you're gonna be able to navigate and figure out, oh, I tried this thing and it worked super well, or I tried this thing and it didn't work nearly as well as this thing, so I'm gonna put more energy over here. Stay committed to the process of consistency. So when I say reaching out to people and having conversations, don't make the goal a sales goal. Start with making the goal, I'm gonna have a conversation every day and I'm gonna see where that leads me and what intel I get and insights and changes and shifts. Having that be the focus in the beginning is what's going to create your success. Finally, I'm going to share with you guys the top mistakes that so many business owners, including myself, make when starting a business. The first one is honestly not trying enough, overthinking, trying to perfect an entire strategy and every single thing in their business before they ever even launch it. I'm a really big fan of get it out there, even if it's not perfect. Obviously do your best, but get the feedback and always be improving. The second mistake is allowing the tactical elements of business completely overwhelm and take over for people. So what software to have, how many emails to have, what pages on the website to have, what to have those say, what to make your Instagram bio, all of those things at the root of it don't matter if you're not focusing on relationships and connection. If you focus on relationships and connection and having that be the priority first, even if it's a little bit messy in the beginning, even if it's not as organized as you'd like it, that's okay in the beginning of a business. So don't let the tactical what ifs and the tactical decisions and feeling like you have to have all this stuff in place stop you from moving forward. This third mistake I am super passionate about because most people make this mistake, which is following another business's either advice or watching what they do and trying to replicate it exactly for your business, thinking that if you do that, then you will be successful. Business success is found in foundational principles like relationship building, like connection, that never change, and executing those as it is relevant and custom to the offer you sell, the niche and the ideal customer you're trying to attract, and you and your strengths. And so way too often do I see somebody successful, see a successful entrepreneur or a business and go, they're super successful, so I'm gonna do exactly that. I'm gonna follow the exact strategy, sell a similar product, change just a few things, and I will surely be successful. And it never works because it is not playing to the offer you wanna sell, the individualization of who you are and what your strengths are and what your values are, and the ideal customer you want to go after. So don't get caught up in trying or needing to find somebody else successful who's similar to you and replicating what they're doing. Focus on the foundational principles that are always true, which I've given you some here today, and then how you can make that your own and create a business strategy that works for you and your audience. The final mistake that people make is the fingers crossed approach, or the post it and they will come. And this looks like, I want to start a business, I want to sell more, I'm just going to post on social media and cross my fingers and hope I get lucky and people start coming to my website. That doesn't work. You have to be intentional, especially in the beginning. You have to be intentional with your strategy, with your outreach, with your connection that you're creating, with the conversations you're trying to have in order to create success. Throwing spaghetti at the wall or post it and they will come, meaning post on social media and your business will surely grow, never works. Growing a successful business is not luck. Me and other successful entrepreneurs, we don't have something that you don't have. It's not about finding some like secret hidden strategy or ninja hack that if you get that, then you'll be successful. It's very intentional. Part of it is about trying a lot of things and seeing what works for you and what gets momentum and leaning into that. And it's really about putting yourself out there and building those relationships and focusing on serving. But if you catch yourself feeling like you just need this one missing piece and then you'll be able to start your business or then it'll be successful, pause and reflect on that, because it's not about the one missing piece. It's about those foundational things: connection, relationships, solving a problem, serving an audience. And if you focus on that, I guarantee you will be successful. Now you know the exact strategy that you can implement starting today to grow a successful business with no money investment. You also know the mistakes to avoid, which is miles ahead of where I was when I started my business. I know that every person who has the determination, the willpower, and the commitment to building a successful business will build a successful business. It's not if, it's when. And the cool thing is, the win is up to you and you taking action and you putting one foot in front of the other, being willing to fail, being willing to learn, being willing to show up. The power is all yours. Now you have the tools and you can get started. If you want to head over and check out my video that I recorded on how I became a 7-figure entrepreneur fast and a mom at 20, you can click the link.